Have you ever wondered what happens when promises are broken? The town of Hamelin can tell you a tale about this, a tale of rats, a magical pipe, and a promise that was shattered. A long time ago, the picturesque town of Hamelin was not as charming as it is today. The town was overrun by rats. These were not your ordinary rats. They were as big as cats and as sly as foxes. They were everywhere, in homes, in shops, even in the town hall. The people of Hamelin tried everything to get rid of them, but nothing worked. Even the cats were powerless against them. In desperation, the town's chief made a public announcement. He promised 10 sacks of gold to anyone who could rid the town of these pesky rodents, a promise that would soon come to haunt him. One day, a stranger arrived in Hamelin, a man with a pipe who claimed he could rid the town of the rats. With a nod from the chief, the stranger began to play an enchanting tune on his pipe. As the notes filled the air, something extraordinary happened. The rats, one by one, began to follow the man. He led them through the streets of Hamelin and straight into the river where they all drowned. The town was finally free from the rats. The Pied Piper returned to the chief to claim his reward. But the chief, now free of the rat problem, decided he didn't want to part with his gold. He refused to pay the piper his due. The Pied Piper was filled with rage. He decided to teach the town a lesson they would never forget. The piper began to play his pipe once again, but this time it was not the rats who followed him, but the children of Hamelin. He led them to a cave outside the town and sealed it with a giant rock. Only 2 children were left behind, a little boy who had hurt his leg and a little girl who was deaf and couldn't hear the music. The town was in despair. The chief, filled with guilt, led the townsfolk to the cave. They begged the Pied Piper for forgiveness and promised him 20 sacks of gold. The Pied Piper, seeing their remorse, let the children go. The town of Hamelin had learnt a harsh lesson that day. They had learnt the importance of keeping a promise. They learnt that breaking a promise can lead to dire consequences. And they learnt that greed can sometimes cost more than gold. It can cost happiness and peace. So the next time you make a promise, remember the town of Hamelin and the price they paid for breaking theirs.